Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to walk through a couple of live trades that I took on September 1st. I did take multiple trades throughout the day. I only recorded 2 of them. One was with Netflix and one was with Nvidia. And I do want to let you guys also know that I execute all of my trades on my phone, so you won't see me actually putting in the order on the platform. What you will see though is a notification on the top left-hand corner when I get filled, and then you'll see a notification when I exit as well. So pay attention to that, and I will point it out in the video. It is a voiceover because I didn't want any of the level 2 or time and sales data being cut out. So you'll hear my voice in the background speaking over the video as we walk through it. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, make sure you comment down below, or any video suggestions. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so here we go. You're going to see me pull up Netflix here on the chart. All right, let me zoom in. So right here, I pull up the Netflix chart. I see that Netflix pushed in the morning, pulled back, and now it's going to retest that high that it created in the morning. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, I love plays like this where the stock pops, pulls back, and then goes to retest that previous support level, which is right here. You can see that 532. It did go to retest that 532 level, and it's bouncing back off. And now what I'm watching for Netflix is for it to break this high of 539.67, 539.70-ish for an entry for calls. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happens. So you can see now it's pushing. It retested that 532 area, like I said, and that was kind of the pre-market area line that I had set. And the stock is now pushing back up. So now, like I said, what I'm watching is, and I forgot to set up my time and sales properly because I was recording off of my laptop at this point. So I just set up the time and sales so you guys can see the bid and ask as well. This is how I usually set up time and sales. Hold on, let me pause this. This is usually how I have time and sales set up on my main 2 screens. This is how it has. So I have the time, the bid, price, ask, and then the size. And that's how I watch it. And then every chart has level 2 open as well. So I apologize for that not being updated prior. But see, Netflix breaks that 539 level that we were watching. It breaks. You're gonna see me put a fill order in. And you can see right here as well, volume does pop a little bit. So now what I'm actually waiting for is for it to actually hold this 539, 540 area. Since it's really close to this 540.95, there it goes. So it starts the push. Down here as well, you can see that, remember, I mean, some of you that are new to my channel and some that are not, what I like to see in volume when I see a pullback, so obviously volume's high on a push up. Volumes, I want to see volume die on a pullback like this. So you can see volume starts to drop on the pullback. And then what I want to see is kind of a U-shaped form. So I want to see volume drop, and then as the stock starts to bounce back up, I want to see volume start to pick back up here too as well. And you can see the volume does start to pick back up. My entry order right here, I put in for Netflix, and it doesn't get filled the first time, so I end up canceling it, and then I re-put it in again. Anyone that has Thinkorswim knows that it has fill problems, so I end up putting it in I think twice before it got filled. So let's see, yeah, twice, and then one more time, and on the 3rd try I got filled. Usually I don't try 3 times, but I had a strong feeling with Netflix on it going up. It did have strong level 2 and time and sales pushing. You can see the time and sales accelerating, and that price is going up above 540. It's getting filled at 540, 541, and you can see that the push. Now right here, I'm still holding Netflix. It's holding that 540, 541 area. I'm not scared right now because the price that it's getting filled at is above 540. That was my entry kind of level, target level on Netflix anyways. And then on top of that, if you look down here, the bid is holding 540 and the ask is close to is holding the 541, 542 level. So it is still holding the levels that I was watching. So I'm not going to get scared out of this 1-minute candle. In just a second, you're going to see me pull up the 5-minute chart on Netflix as well. So I watch it on the 5-minute chart to just justify holding it through these small 1-minute movements so you don't get shaken out. So you can see right there, Netflix pushes. Orders are still being filled right into in between the bid and the ask. You can see right here, orders are being filled in between the bid and the ask price, which is what you kind of want to see, and then it gets closer to the ask. Look at this right here. So when you want to see a stock break on the upside, what you want to see on time and sales is you want to see the price that it's being executed at to be executed at the ask or higher. And look at this right now. So the price right here for all of these trades were executed at 542. The ask at that point was at 542 as well right here. And then the ask pushes up, and look at the size of the orders. Big orders coming in on the time and sales on the ask. So I'm comfortable with holding Netflix at this point through this entire move, and really no reason for me to get out yet. I should be pulling up the 5-minute. I don't remember when I pull it up. I apologize, because I usually have the 5-minute up on one of my charts on my big screens, but since I decided to record this last minute, I wasn't able to pull it up that quickly. But right here, you see me pull up the 5-minute on Netflix just to see if I'm still able to hold it and how the 5-minute is looking. So right here, the 5-minute's looking extremely bullish. You can see volume is high on it. Stock is still pushing. It's still holding above that 540 level on the 5-minute. So I'm still comfortable holding it right here. And then right here is when I tend to I put a sell order in on Netflix. Now what happens is I don't get filled on the sell order on Netflix, and now I'm kind of down on the trade. You don't see the monitor screen yet, but I'm kind of down on the trade now. So I don't end up getting out. I wasn't filled, but the 5-minute is still looking pretty bullish. So I'm comfortable with holding Netflix through this kind of 1-minute candle here. So what happens here is when you see a candle like this and you see the 5-minute is holding well, usually this is just market makers trying to shake out retail traders, and usually people will get out. They'll sometimes end up taking a loss because they get out, or they get filled too late on this, or they're not able to get out and they get shaken out of this candle. Now I did try to get out right at the top. Unfortunately, my TD didn't fill my order. Usually when that happens, I look at my options, and I was obviously down on the trade at this point, so I made sure to pull up the 5-minute chart to see how the 5-minute chart looked. Volume was still high on this candle, was still looking pretty bullish, so I was comfortable with holding. See 1-minute candles like this pretty often. When a stock has a sharp move, you'll see a 1-minute candle kind of really bearish candle. It's usually market makers just trying to shake out retail traders. So just pay attention to that, and pay attention to the volume on the candle. After I wasn't able to get filled at the top, I paid attention to the volume on this candle as well. You can see that the volume on this candle is pretty low compared to the previous candles, so it did drop in volume. On top of that, the volume on the 5-minute candle is still high, and look at this. The next 5-minute candle opens above where the previous one closed. That's another sign for me to end up holding this trade. It is still pushing on the 5-minute. It's showing signs of a bullish move, so there's no reason for me to get out of this trade yet. Also, I start to see the ask stepping up, and I want to see 540s on the bid now to make sure that it's able to break that 540 level back up into that bullish trend that it was on. Now the 5-minute is still holding that 540 level. Don't see a reversal in the stock yet. I'm still seeing 540s being printed on time and sales. My support level that I would have gotten out on that I forgot to chart on here was the below 540. So if the stock was to close below 540, I would have gotten out. So that was my mental stop loss on this trade. It didn't end up closing under 540, and it didn't end up, I actually don't know if this one no, it didn't close under 540. It doesn't look like. I didn't see a strong close under 540, so I was able to hold the trade longer and through this kind of consolidation period. Also, I realized it was a consolidation period. You can see that the volume dropped heavily. Like I said previously, whenever you see a pullback or consolidation, you should see a drop in volume. That's usually a sign that tells you, it is a consolidation and it's not a reversal. 5-minute is still holding pretty well on that 540 level, still looking pretty bullish. So let's just continue to watch what Netflix does here. I want to show you guys something right here. So these moving averages, so they're the simple moving averages. they're the exponential moving averages here, and this is my 21-day moving average, and this is the 9-day moving average right here. So I tend to use moving averages to verify my support and resistance levels as well. You can see that I had the mental stop at 540, below 540, and right here the stock bounces perfectly off of this 9-day EMA. In this entire trade, you can see there were multiple factors that influenced my decision to stay inside and to hold through the consolidation period. Usually I don't hold scalps for this long anyways, but when I didn't get filled at the top here, that's when you need your technical analysis skills to step up and pay attention to what the chart is telling you and what the price action of the stock is telling you, as well as any indicators that you utilize. This is when you want to put everything together. Your strategy comes together where you're confident enough in holding the trade through a consolidation period, or you need to cut your losses and get out of the trade. This is how you determine that. So like I said, it's holding that EMA bounce perfectly. Another indicator that I'm comfortable with holding the stock. I'm comfortable with holding it through this consolidation period. It's not a strong reversal. It looks like it's just consolidating. So I hold Netflix through, and let's see what happens. You're still seeing the 540s print on time and sales, and the 540s holding on the bid as well. So I'm just going to forward a little bit of this. So most of the orders that we're going through were above the 540 level. So again, like I said, comfortable with holding through the consolidation period. Also, there's no volume yet, really. Volume is still kind of dying on this chart. And look at the 5 minute, starts to push here, and the stock ends up pushing past up that 540.95, 541 area. I would round it up to. And there it goes, boom, on this candle. You can see, let's just go back a little bit so you guys can see previously. So on this candle right here, watch what happens on time and sales. You can start to see orders, time and sales accelerating, and the orders coming in at the ask or higher, really close to the ask or higher, and you're going to see bigger orders come in, bigger orders coming in at the ask. 5 minute candle looks beautiful. So volume starting to pick up on this candle too. 542's printing, and at this point I'm back up on the trade. I'm just holding it. There's really no reason for me to get out yet. 5 minute looks good. 1 minute looks good. Volume's building on the chart, and the time and sales is continuously printing big orders at the ask or higher, and it's holding that 543, 544 at the day, on the day. 5 minutes still looks really good. Volume is picking up on this candle as well. Perfect move on Netflix here. Now, so what you guys want to pay attention to, now that it broke this 542.75 level, this 542.75 level becomes a level of support. Now, if it breaks below that 542.75 level, that would be kind of a place where I would exit if I took a loss, or if I took an exit, or if I was day trading, or whatever the case may be. If you scalped it above the 542.75, now this 542.75 resistance becomes support. So if you had entered right here on this candle, you would watch the 542.75 for your mental stop loss. That's just an example of if it breaks a high, where would you set your mental stop loss? That high would then be your support, and that would be your mental stop loss. So I'm starting to see 545s on the ask. That's my target on Netflix, kind of getting close to that 545 because it's a psychological level. So I end up getting out, I think, very close to 545. Stock gets very close to that level, and then pulls back just slightly. So let's see. Still looking really good right here. I think I put in a sell order at some point. There it goes. Sold my contracts on Netflix at the high. Got really close to that 545. Like I said, that was my psychological target on Netflix. Got really close to it. I was comfortable with the profit that I made. I made about $800, $816 on Netflix. It was about a 9 to 10 minute hold, I believe. And that whole entire scalp here, like I said, I entered around right this area right here, held through this entire consolidation, held my ground, stuck to my mental support and resistance levels, and I was able to catch the entire move on Netflix. All right, guys, so right here you can see me pulling up NVIDIA's chart. So NVIDIA, like, so what I was watching on NVIDIA after my Netflix play, and I'm sorry I don't end up opening the 5-minute on NVIDIA for a while because I kind of forgot, but right here NVIDIA is kind of consolidating in the morning. It ends up popping, breaks that pre-market high, pops here, wasn't able to catch it on the pop. So now what I'm waiting for NVIDIA is for a pullback and then a retest of that high, a break of the high that it created on the day. So NVIDIA pushed, high volume, you can see right here on the pullback, volume dips, picks back up, stock pushes up. On this right here pullback, you can see again, volume dips again, and right here the stock, the volume spikes. So now what I'm looking for is a break of the 547.90 level for entry for calls on NVIDIA. Also, you can kind of see an inverse H pattern, so an upside down H is a bullish pattern, so you look for the break of the neckline. So right here, I'm waiting for NVIDIA to break that 547.89 high, start to see it printing on time and sales, breaks it, put an entry, an order in on NVIDIA, doesn't get filled the first time, put another order in on NVIDIA. You're going to see me cancel this order and then put another one in. So I did miss a little bit of it because Thinkorswim, the delay in the order fill is pretty annoying. I have been thinking about switching brokers, which I will update you guys if I switch a broker. There it goes. So I got filled right, I think, at the open of this candle, if I remember correctly. I did want to get filled right at the open of this candle, wasn't able to. So now I'm watching NVIDIA. 5-minute looks, this is not the 5-minute on NVIDIA. Now, I'm not going to get shaken out of this candle here because it's just a slight pullback. Volume's still kind of holding pretty low. And the time and sales is holding that 547 level. Remember the high that we had was 547.90, I believe it was. So it's still holding that level pretty well. So I'm not too scared to hold through this 1-minute candle. I'm not going to get shaken out. And the bid is holding that 547. Right here, you're going to see me pull up NVIDIA 5-minute chart to see what it looks like. You can see that 5-minute bullish candle holding on high volume. Really no reason for me to get out of the trade right now or get shaken out. Gonna hold my ground through this. 547s are still holding on the time and sales, and you're gonna see NVIDIA pop in just a second. 547s are holding on the ask. 548 you see on the printing on the ask as well. And then right here on the bid, you can see that the bid is starting to slightly push higher on NVIDIA above the 547.50 level. And then you're going to see right here 548 start to print on the ask. That is confirmation to hold through the trade. You can see that there's more, the orders are going in through the ask are higher, which also means that the stock is on an uptrend. So if you see the stock getting closer to a level, a resistance level, what you want to see, like I said, on time and sales is the price being executed at the ask are higher. 5-minute just opened, a new 5-minute opened higher than the previous 5 minutes closed. You can see that, and the stock is still pushing. And right here you're going to see NVIDIA break that high, still pushing. Really good bullish candle here. Volume's going to start to pick up in just a second on NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA, I left a lot on the table just because the fills on Thinkorswim were so delayed last week when I put these trades in, that I just didn't want to risk any profit anymore because I got delayed on my fills with Netflix. I was just trying to get in and out at this point. So I did leave a lot on the table with NVIDIA. I'm still at this point. I haven't gotten out yet, but the stock does end up moving a lot more than where I got out. But that just comes with trading. You have to be okay with you know, leaving profit on the table. You can see 549's on the bid now as well. Stock is still pushing. Volume is still pretty good. 5-minute looks great on the 5-minute chart here. You have a strong bullish candle. And right here is when I kind of get shaken out of NVIDIA. I end up putting an order in and I fill on all of my trades. Stock still pushes. Like I said, I did leave a lot on NVIDIA. Ends up pushing a little bit more than this as well. But so you can see here, I made about $265 on NVIDIA and $816 on Netflix. I had traded Apple earlier in the day as well. Like I said, these weren't the only trades I took all day. I did end up trading Netflix and Nvidia a little bit later in the day as well, but these were just my morning trades, and I made about $1,500 in total. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, like I said below, go ahead and comment down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you have any video suggestions or anything else that you'd like to see, also comment that down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my page, and I'll see you guys in next week's video.